you've ever looked in the mirror and thought, "Is that really me?" Then you're not alone. And this video is for you. Because let's be honest, aging isn't always easy. There are days when we don't recognize the person staring back at us. The skin is softer, the lines are deeper, and sometimes the sparkle in our eyes feels like it's dimmed just a little. But here's what no one tells you. Growing older doesn't mean fading away. It means stepping into a version of yourself that's wiser, stronger, and yes, still beautiful. We're not here to chase youth. We're here to celebrate the power and grace that only come with time. Today, I'm going to share with you 8 powerful beauty habits that have helped thousands of women, including myself, feel confident, vibrant, and radiant at any age. These aren't about hiding your age or covering anything up. They're about enhancing what's already there, because you're not trying to be 25 again. You're trying to be fully and unapologetically you. So make yourself a cup of tea, sit back, and let's talk woman to woman, heart to heart, about how we can show up in the world with a little more glow, a little more confidence, and a whole lot more self-love. Beauty tip number 1. Bringing back smiling eyes. They say a woman's eyes never lie. They reveal every late night, every laugh line, every chapter of her story. But somewhere along the way, many of us look in the mirror and wonder, where did that spark go? Not the color, not the makeup, the life. The part of us that used to shine just by being seen. That's why this first beauty tip isn't about makeup tricks or chasing trends. It's about reclaiming something that belongs to you. The warmth, light, and quiet confidence behind your eyes. Let's start with the basics. As we age, our eyelids may become a little heavier, the skin a bit thinner, and our lashes, well, a little more modest than they used to be. But that doesn't mean we need to cover things up. It means we need to highlight what makes us real. The first step? Light. Brightness. A touch of a soft champagne or peach-toned eyeshadow on the inner corners can instantly lift and open the eye. Skip the heavy blacks and try gentle earth tones like mocha, soft plum, or warm taupe. These shades enhance without overwhelming, and yes, mascara still matters. A single coat of a lightweight, defining mascara can make your lashes lift just enough to say, "I'm still here, and I still love looking up at the world." If your lashes have thinned, consider a lash conditioning serum, or better yet, lean into softness. Fuller doesn't always mean younger, but healthier always does. Don't forget your brows. Think of them as picture frames for your eyes. Over time, brows can become patchy or lose shape, but that's easily fixable. A tinted brow gel or pencil used lightly to fill and shape brings structure and energy back to your entire face. It's not about bold brows, it's about balanced brows. But here's the truth behind every eye that truly lights up a room. It's the expression behind them. It's the smile that reaches them. It's kindness, curiosity, that playful little spark that says, "I still find joy in being alive." No product can fake that. No cream can restore it. But you can, with presence, with laughter, with love. So when you walk past the mirror today, try this. Soften your gaze, lift your brows, and let your eyes smile. Not because you're trying to look younger, but because you're honoring the story behind every glance. That's what people remember. That's what makes you glow. Beauty tip number 2, lipstick, the color of confidence. There's something magical about lipstick. One little swipe can change your whole mood. It's more than just color. It's identity. A quiet, personal rebellion against feeling invisible. But here's the thing. Not every shade that worked in your 20s still speaks to who you are today. And that's not a bad thing. It's an invitation to rediscover yourself. Many women I've spoken to avoid lipstick as they get older, worried it might settle into fine lines or feel too bold. But the right formula and shade, it doesn't just sit on your lips. It lifts your entire expression. Start by finding a tone that complements your natural warmth. For most mature skin tones, soft berry shades, rosewood, or a peachy nude can create a fresh, healthy look without overpowering. Avoid ultra-matte formulas that can feel drying, and instead go for creamy, hydrating lipsticks or tinted balms that move with your skin, not against it. And here's a personal story. I remember talking to a woman in her 70s who wore the same shade of coral lipstick every single day. When I asked her why, she smiled and said, "It's not the color that matters. It's how it makes me feel when I put it on, like I haven't given up." That stayed with me, because really, lipstick isn't about impressing anyone else. It's a conversation between you and your reflection. A reminder that you still care, that you still feel beautiful, and that you still deserve to take up space. Even on days when your hair's a mess and your clothes are from yesterday, that little tube of color can say, "I showed up." So don't skip the lipstick, not for anyone. Let it be your flag, your mood, your moment. Because when your lips speak with color, they say so much more than words ever could. Beauty. Tip number 3. Style has no age, only attitude. Let's talk about something no mirror can measure. Presence. That feeling when someone walks into a room and you just feel them before they even speak. You might think that's something reserved for the young or the bold, but let me tell you, presence only gets stronger with age, and a big part of that is how you choose to dress. Now, before you worry, I'm not talking about chasing trends or squeezing into something uncomfortable. I'm talking about the quiet power of knowing what makes you feel like you, not just what fits, but what feels right. Here's a truth we don't hear enough. Clothes aren't supposed to hide your body. They're meant to reflect your energy. You don't have to wear loud patterns or expensive brands to stand out. A soft, well-fitted blouse, a scarf in your favorite color, a simple gold earring. These small choices whisper something louder than any fashion magazine ever could. I'm still here. I still love myself. And don't be afraid of color. As we get older, our skin tone can lose some of the natural warmth it once had. Wearing colors that lift your complexion, like teal, rose, cream, or deep jewel tones, can instantly bring back that healthy glow. If you always wear black because it feels safe, try pairing it with something bright near your face. Even a single colorful accessory can make a difference. I once met a woman in her 60s who wore the same denim jacket every single week, but she changed her scarf every day. Bright purples, bold reds, soft greens. I asked her why, and she said, "My scarf is how I feel today." That, to me, is true style. Honest, expressive, and unapologetically alive. And remember, fashion is not about covering up flaws. It's about celebrating the shape of your life. So tomorrow, when you get dressed, ask yourself, does this outfit remind me of who I am, or is it hiding me? Because your presence doesn't come from what you wear. It comes from owning it. Beauty tip number 4. Skincare isn't vanity. It's self-respect. Skincare is often sold as a way to fight time, to erase wrinkles, to reverse the past. But what if we stopped fighting time and started honoring it instead? At this stage in life, skincare isn't about turning back the clock. It's about showing your body, your face, yourself, that you still care, that you are still worthy of gentleness, attention, and touch. Let me be clear. You don't need a 10-step routine or expensive serums to have beautiful skin. What you need is consistency, kindness, and an understanding that caring for your skin is a ritual, not a rescue mission. Start simple. A gentle cleanser that doesn't strip your skin, a moisturizer that hydrates without feeling heavy, and yes, sunscreen. Every single day, even if it's cloudy or you're just sitting by the window. Think of sunscreen not as protection from aging, but as a small daily act of respect for the skin that's carried you through every laugh, every tear, every hard-earned moment. And don't stop at your face, the neck, chest, and hands are some of the first areas to show age, but often the last ones we care for. Treat them the same way you'd treat your cheeks, with attention and softness. Apply moisturizer in upward strokes. Take your time. Make it a moment, not a chore. I remember watching my mother, even in her 70s, take a few minutes each night to apply cream to her face and neck. She wasn't trying to look younger. She just said, "This is how I say thank you to myself for making it through another day." There's something beautiful about that, isn't there? Skincare isn't about fixing what's wrong. It's about recognizing what's right. That you're still here, still living, still worthy of care. So tonight, when you wash your face, do it slowly, gently, like you're tucking a child into bed, because that face in the mirror, it's seen everything, and it still deserves to glow. Beauty tip number 5, the power of scent, memory, mood, and magic. Have you ever caught a whiff of a certain perfume and suddenly felt transported? Maybe it reminded you of your mother's warm hug, a special holiday, or the first time someone told you that you smelled amazing. That's the quiet power of scent. It doesn't just sit on your skin, it lingers in the air, in people's memory, in emotion. As we get older, our relationship with scent changes. Maybe your skin chemistry has shifted or your favorite perfume feels a bit too strong. But that doesn't mean you have to give up on fragrance. You just need to find one that evolves with you. At this stage in life, less is more. Heavy, overpowering scents can feel dated or artificial. But softer, more layered fragrances, like a subtle vanilla, a warm musk, a hint of lavender, or even fresh citrus, can be deeply personal and quietly powerful. They don't shout, they speak gently, and that's what makes them unforgettable. And you don't need to spray your entire body. A dab on your wrists, behind your ears, maybe a touch at the base of your neck. That's enough. The goal isn't for everyone to smell it across the room. The goal is for someone close to you, a loved one, a grandchild, a dear friend, to lean in and say, "You smell like comfort." There's something else to scent that we often overlook. It lifts you. Wearing a fragrance you love can change your entire mood. It can give you a sense of identity, a quiet boost of confidence, a reminder that you are still a woman with style, taste, and sensuality, no matter your age. I once met a woman who had worn the same perfume for 30 years. When I asked her why, she smiled and said, "Because it smells like me." That kind of loyalty to oneself is beautiful and rare. So if it's been a while since you found a scent that feels like you, maybe it's time. Not because you need it, but because you deserve it. Because sometimes beauty isn't about what people see. It's about what they remember long after you've left the room. Beauty tip number 6, silver hair, strong spirit. There's a moment many women face, that first strand of silver in the mirror. For some, it's a quiet surprise. For others, it's a wave of resistance. We've been told for so long that gray hair is something to hide, to color over, to fix. But what if we flip the script? What if silver wasn't the end of youth, but the beginning of presence? Let's be honest, embracing your natural hair color, especially if it's turning gray or white, takes courage. It means stepping outside the expectations of society and choosing authenticity over appearance. But for those who've made that choice, the freedom is undeniable. That doesn't mean letting go of care or style. In fact, silver hair can be one of the most striking, elegant features a woman has when it's treated well. Gray hair tends to be drier and more coarse, so it deserves a little extra love. A deep conditioning treatment once a week, a shine serum to bring out that soft glimmer, and a good haircut to add shape and movement can completely transform your look. Think about this. A well-shaped silver bob or soft waves brushed back from the face can speak louder than any bright dye. It says, "I've lived, I've grown, and I've earned every strand of this." Of course, there's no shame in choosing to color your hair either. The point isn't whether it's gray or brown or red. The point is is it you? I remember a friend who went fully silver at 62. She told me, "For the first time, I don't feel like I'm trying to be anyone else. I'm just me." And you could see it. She glowed, not because of the color, but because of the confidence behind it. So whatever stage your hair is in, don't treat it like a problem. Treat it like a canvas. Whether you go natural, add highlights, or embrace the full silver crown, do it with intention, because your hair isn't just hair. It's part of your story, and like the rest of you, it's more powerful than ever. Beauty. Tip number 7, posture is power. You can wear the most beautiful outfit, have your makeup done just right, and still something feels off. And sometimes that something isn't in what you're wearing. It's in how you're carrying yourself. Posture. It's one of the most overlooked aspects of beauty, and yet it changes everything. The way you walk into a room, the way you sit at a table, the way you hold your head when you speak, it all sends a message, not just to others, but to yourself. As we get older, it's natural for the shoulders to round forward, for the spine to feel stiff, and for our body to want to fold inward. But here's the truth. You can't fully shine if you're shrinking into yourself. Think of posture not as a rigid stance, but as an expression of confidence. When you stand tall, chest open, shoulders relaxed, chin lifted, you're not just improving your alignment. You're declaring, "I am still here. I take up space, and I'm proud of it." Start small. Every morning when you brush your teeth, take 30 seconds to roll your shoulders back and lift your head. When you're waiting in line or sitting on the couch, check in with your spine. Is it collapsing or supporting you? You don't need fancy equipment or hours in the gym. Gentle stretches, a few minutes of mindful movement and conscious breathing can do wonders. Even something as simple as walking with intention, slow, steady, present, can shift your whole energy. And beyond physical beauty, good posture affects your mood. Standing tall can reduce anxiety, improve circulation, and actually increase feelings of self-worth. You feel more capable because you are literally giving your lungs, your heart, your voice more room to exist. I once worked with a woman in her 70s who said, "My back used to hurt more from carrying the weight of what I didn't say than from my bones." After a few months of posture practice, not only did she move better, she spoke louder, laughed more, and started wearing red lipstick again. So straighten up, not to look younger, but to feel stronger, because how you carry yourself tells the world how you feel about who you are. And you, my dear, have every reason to stand tall. Beauty number 8. A young mind is the ultimate glow. You can have flawless skin, the perfect haircut, the right shade of lipstick. But if your spirit feels dull, your beauty won't shine for long. That's why the most powerful beauty secret isn't something you can buy. It's something you build, a curious, open, and engaged mind. Staying mentally young doesn't mean acting like you're 20. It means never stopping your desire to grow, to learn, to explore the world inside and outside of you. Think about it. When you meet someone who's lit up with enthusiasm, someone who's still asking questions, trying new things, discovering books, hobbies, or even friendships, there's a certain energy around them. They radiate something you can't quite describe. That's not luck. That's choice. One of the most vibrant women I know is 74 years old and just started learning to play the ukulele. She laughs about her mistakes, sends me videos of her progress, and says it's the best thing she's done for her spirit in years. Not because she wants to perform, but because she loves having something new to look forward to. That kind of joy is contagious, and it shows in your eyes, in your posture, in the way you speak to others. So ask yourself, when was the last time you did something for the first time? Read a new author, tried a recipe from another culture, sat in a class, or watched a documentary that challenged your thinking. You don't need a college course or a big plan. You just need curiosity. because curiosity is what keeps your mind alive. And when your mind is alive, your face lights up, your voice lifts, your presence expands. A youthful glow doesn't come from what you put on your skin. It comes from what you feed your soul. So yes, moisturize, style your hair, wear your favorite earrings, but never stop learning, wondering, and imagining. That's the real beauty, the kind that only gets better with time. So here we are, 8 simple, soulful ways to reconnect with the woman in the mirror. Not to turn back time, but to honor the time that's made you you. Because true beauty isn't about erasing the past. It's about owning your story. The laughter that left lines, the tears that deepened your gaze, the lessons that softened your edges. All of that has made you more radiant, not less. Maybe you've forgotten that lately. Maybe no one's told you in a while. So let me say it plainly. You are still beautiful. And not in a for your age kind of way, just beautiful, period. You deserve to take care of yourself. You deserve to feel confident when you walk into a room, to enjoy the rituals that make you feel feminine and strong, to take up space without apology. Because beauty isn't something you leave behind in your 30s. It's something you keep discovering, decade after decade. If any of these tips spoke to you today, I hope you won't just remember them. I hope you'll live them. Even the smallest shift, a smile, a swipe of lipstick, a straightened spine, can be the spark that reminds you who you've always been. And I'd love to hear from you. Which tip meant the most to you? Which one will you try first? Share your story in the comments below, because your voice, your wisdom, might be exactly what another woman needs to hear today. And if this video gave you a little light, pass it on to a sister, a friend, a mother, a neighbor. Let's keep this circle of strength and beauty going. Until next time, stand tall, smile with your eyes, and never stop growing. You're not done. You're just getting started.